Hello class, welcome to B Grade Economics. This is Nate, your class leader. Let's get started. So we're going to interject real quick here with continuing our conversation about possible trades and opportunities. This is a quick live run on TradingView of current charts that I'm watching, and as we've talked about in our last trade was the Nasdaq through the QQQ ETF, and we can see here that we got out of our trade a little early. And we did that because the risk and the evidence showed that throughout most of the history of this trend, and although I've been expecting this to eventually occur, that this trend would eventually revert in a violent motions down, chop sideways, or generally slowly climb and move up. And so what I was waiting on was the next opportunity for either to come down or signal that it's time to get in. Now, what I want to indicate here is that when we talk about time to get in, I talked about a blow off top before. Now, I'm not saying that this is the blow off top because we have had times when we have broken out of the range. Let's go to the QQQ that we used with this example. We're not completely out of the range yet, but we are seeing signs of mass run-ups, and this follows macro evidence or macro events that have caused the opportunity to spend money into the Nasdaq in one final blow off top. We saw this occur in the Nasdaq in the dot-com boom. Today we're seeing it as a reflection of monetary policy and technology realization. So we look at the S&P 500 and we see that it's not as manic, but it is up rather sharply on the daily. We see very large candles jumping up, not too out of the norm, just on a good day. But the Nasdaq is the one that's showing us some really strong moves here. And so what I want to just highlight is that the Nasdaq may be providing us the opportunity we're looking for. And if we go to our Nasdaq divided by the S&P or priced in the S&P, we can see that we've yet again come into an opportunity where we're coming above the line. And so if you were to take this trade, it is a high risk trade. It may come back, retest, and then resume, or it may just collapse back down and you get one of these events again that we had earlier last in 2020 and at the beginning of 2021. We have this opportunity here where we may actually break out. Now, if we break out, and the reason why that this is exciting is that it can go very fast and make very big multiples. This happens in multiple stocks often when mania hits them. And what I want to indicate here is what has happened previously. We see that there is a trend up and then a chop here and then eventually a breakout and then a very rapid resumption of pricing. Now this is when the Nasdaq was still young and so its pricing was a lot easier to the S&P. But still, we could see well above a 5. We see here, this is the old top, we're already above. We could see a larger than 5-to-1 ratio of the Nasdaq to the S&P, and that could be massive returns as long as the S&P continues on an uptrend or even sideways. That means the Nasdaq is yielding massively here. Now, we'll jump into this look of the trade, but what I want to show you and highlight is a Mania Cycle. The way in which psychology runs in a market. And we see that it goes through disbelief and an uptrend, and we go back to our Nasdaq SPX. We've gone through a disbelief trend. We're going through this trade. We can go into the Nasdaq long term and take a look at how it's performed over, let me open one up, over the past decade, where we're seeing a recovery. And when we saw in the past 2 years, we saw a recovery and this play out where it comes up and people are doubting it, so it chops along and then it breaks to the upside. It's telling you that it's going higher, and the more you doubt it, the more incorrect you are, which causes the spring to be much more violent as people capitulate into purchasing. So in that scenario, we have this uptrend. And we seem to be breaking above it, and the optimism may be real here, where people are going to go through this this belief, thrill, and euphoria stage. And right now, the belief stage is about to be activated as people believe that it'll break out. But we have to be cautious, as I am having some disbelief here because we've seen this before. We'll call this optimism. This time, it may be real, but we don't know for sure yet. So we're going to see hopefully a retest confirmation to the upside. Most markets will do this. The only place you won't see this is something like crypto. And to bring up crypto, I can bring up the crypto market cap. Here's the crypto market cap. And we see that we're in this uptrend and hitting a line where our chances of returning to an upside, a massive upside, are very real. So we just want to keep this trade in mind, as it may be a massive opportunity for us to take maybe our 6 times return and jump 2 levels in our trade. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.